You're eating healthy, you're trying to get more sleep, and you're even taking supplements, but you still feel bone deep tired. Well, I want you to know that you're not crazy and you're definitely not lazy. In today's episode, I want to break down the hidden energy leaks that most people, and quite frankly, most doctors miss. Things like mitochondrial dysfunction, blood sugar crashes, chronic low-grade inflammation, and circadian rhythm chaos. So if your body feels like it's running on empty, this might just be your wake-up call. You're going to want to stay tuned, and let's help you regain your energy. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Welcome back to another episode of Gut Fix. So I know how frustrating fatigue can be, especially when you're doing everything right, quote unquote, right? And, I want to share a story of a client of mine who had some unexplained exhaustion, but we eventually found some breakthrough, right, with some of the things that we were looking at. It was a client of mine who was, like I said, doing all of the right things. When she came to me, she was eating well. She was getting the proper sleep. She was taking supplements. She was taking very good care of her body, but she just was feeling exhausted. And we did some testing. We found some kinks in her armor, if you will. And we went to work, created a very personalized protocol. And within 90 days, she started to regain that energy back and started feeling like herself again. And I want you to know that I've been there as well. And, you get so frustrated because you're sleeping. You're focusing on your sleep. You're eating the right things. And yet you still wake up either unrefreshed, tired, or you have that, mid-afternoon crash. So I want to discuss and let's talk about some of the reasons why this could be happening. So first of all, energy leaks. Energy is not just about calories and what you put in, right? It's all about how well your body produces that energy and how it uses it, and also how it protects it. And when you have small leaks in those energy over time, that's going to lead to big exhaustion. And so some of the hidden energy drains that I mentioned earlier, number one is mitochondrial dysfunction. So mitochondria are your cell's powerhouse, your cell's power plants. When they get damaged by things like toxins we talked about last week, inflammation, if you happen to be eating a poor diet, or even occasionally eating the wrong things, or even chronic stress over time. These can all damage those mitochondrial powerhouses in your cells. And when that happens, your energy starts to drain. And some of the signs of mitochondrial dysfunction could be you have slow recovery time. So you do a workout, you go for a run, you go for a walk, you do a pretty decent workout, and it takes you a lot longer to recover from that workout. Also, if you're doing something, small tasks, that could be working out in the garden, that could be, doing a little bit of housework, things like that, but they leave you feeling extremely fatigued and like you've either got to sit down or you got to take a nap afterwards. That could be a sign that it's mitochondrial dysfunction. Also, if you experience brain fog, I've been asked this question several times over the last month or so. What is brain fog? Well, when you think about it and you break it down, it's like it's foggy in your brain. Nothing's clear. Your thinking's not clear. Your actions are not clear. You can't think clearly. That's brain fog. And so that could be also a sign of mitochondrial dysfunction. Also, another energy zap or something that could be draining your energy is blood sugar roller coaster. So if you have those spikes and crashes in your energy, whether something that you eat will maybe spike, or the caffeine, some people rely on caffeine to get them that energy, and then they crash, right? Those peaks and valleys, that's your blood sugar. It's on a roller coaster ride. And some of the symptoms that you might experience are things like I mentioned earlier, your afternoon crashes. So if you're one of those people that at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you feel like you either need to take a nap or you need a hit of caffeine or sugar or something to get you going, that could be a symptom that could be a sign that it is your blood sugar. If you get that hangry feeling to where you are so hungry, but you're irritable, that can also be your blood sugar. If you wake up, say, 3 o'clock in the morning and you are wired for sound, you're ready to clean the house, you're ready to get to work, you're ready to go do something, that could also be your blood sugar out of alignment, right? And then a third way that your energy could be getting drained, a hidden energy drain, is your circadian rhythm disruption. And your circadian rhythm regulates your sleep-wake cycle. So if you have poor blue light at night, or not poor blue light, but if you have too much blue light at night, either from your television, from your computer screen, from your iPhone, whatever it is, if you're on that too much and you're getting too much stimulation from that blue light, that could be disrupting your circadian rhythm. Try, getting off your devices at least a minimum of 30 minutes before you go to bed, or try some blue light blocking glasses as well. Also, if you have poor sleep routine, so if you're not going to bed at the same time, you're not getting up at the same time, you're sleeping with devices in your room, or the Wi-Fi on in your room, or light in there, that could also all be disrupting your circadian rhythm. And also, one of the key things that we find sometimes when we do our testing is your cortisol is out of alignment. And so you think about it like this: your cortisol should be at the highest when you wake up in the morning. That's what gets you up. That's what gets you going, is when your cortisol is high. And it slowly gets lower and lower throughout the day, so that at the nighttime when you're ready to go to bed, ideally, that's the way it should go, you should be ready to go to sleep. And the fact that your cortisol is low allows you to go to sleep at night. If that gets out of whack, which I saw in myself, but I see it in a lot of clients, when that is out of alignment, that's gonna also give you energy crashes. Also, poor sleep quality. That's gonna lead to poor energy production, among a lot of other things. Sleep is truly one of the cornerstones of your health. And so make sure that, once again, that you're sleeping in a very cool, dark, quiet room at night, no electronics in the room, and you're going to sleep a whole lot better. And then one of the fourth energy leaks could be low-grade inflammation. And this one can be a silent killer, right? So it could show up as gut issues, just kind of digestion issues. It could show up as food sensitivities, and maybe you don't even know that you have these food sensitivities. Back when I did my first I shouldn't say my first food sensitivity, but my most recent food sensitivity in many years test, I found that there was a lot of the things that I was eating that I was sensitive to, and I needed to, for a minimum of 90 days, stop eating them. And it helped. It definitely helped with my energy levels, amongst other things. Also, your toxic exposure. We talked about this last week a lot. And while we are never going to completely eliminate toxins, it's just a part of life, we can definitely limit our exposure to them. And when you get too much exposure to toxins, that can trigger energy drains. So you really want to work on getting better, cleaning up, right? And lowering your toxic exposure. Also, with that low-grade inflammation, it's constantly, that inflammation is going to, constantly drain your energy behind the scenes. So that's why we say it's kind of quiet and in the background. It's constantly putting a drain on your energy system. And so let's talk about a quick energy leak sort of self-check, if you will. Number one, look to see, are you overly sensitive to stress? So if stress just kind of stresses you out and you can't handle it, that could be a sign, right? Also, if you eat a meal and you immediately have a crash right afterwards, that could also be a sign that you have energy leaks somewhere. If you're once again getting plenty of sleep, but you either still wake up unrefreshed and you don't feel like you've slept well, or you get that crash midday, mid-afternoon, something like that, that also could be an energy leak. And if you are having to rely on caffeine just to function, either just to wake up in the morning or just to function throughout the day, if you're highly dependent on caffeine, that also could be a sign that you have an energy leak. So, what are some practical solutions that you can start doing today to start getting that energy back? Is number one, you can balance your blood sugar. So think about eating protein at every one of your meals. And you want to avoid those, what I'll call naked carbs, or things like pasta, breads, and, rices, things like that. Avoid those, but make sure you are getting protein at every meal. Also, you want to make sure that you're getting some morning sunlight each morning. That's going to help to trigger your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle. It also will help you to produce and stimulate vitamin D levels in your system. And you want to, at the same time you're getting that morning sunlight, you want to minimize that blue light at night. So either turn off your devices and get away from the computer a minimum 30 minutes prior to going to sleep, or consider wearing some blue light blocking glasses. And then to support your mitochondria, things like CoQ10 can help. Also magnesium. And magnesium is great too if you are under a lot of stress, because that will deplete your magnesium levels. Also, you want to work on, again, reducing that toxin exposure. Once again, you are never going to get rid of it completely, but you can reduce your exposure to it. And then also prioritize your sleep hygiene. So make sure that you are sleeping in a very cool, dark, and quiet room. Ideally with no electronics at all in the room. And so just to kind of recap and some final thoughts, I want you to know that if you have these energy leaks or you feel any of the things that we've talked about, it's not you. It's your body that's sending you signals. It's giving you those warning signs that it's time to do something and look a little bit closer at whether it's, food or lifestyle. And you can absolutely 100% get your energy back if you get on the right path and get on the right plan, and don't let it get too far down the road. And so if today's episode kind of hit home for you and you're ready to stop guessing, start feeling like yourself again, I'd love to help you. Once again, I do offer a free 30-minute discovery call where we can talk about what specifically is draining your energy and how we can build you a very simple, personalized plan to get you back on track. So you can click the link below in the show notes, or just head over to my website, wendyhandy.com, and book your free call today. Because honestly, you deserve to feel vibrant and energized once again. So thanks for tuning in. And until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.